Welcome to The Soft Glow of Candlelight, a gentle slice-of-life story designed to ease you into a restful night's sleep. If you find this narrative soothing and would enjoy more stories like it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Before we join Anya in her quiet evening ritual, we'll begin with a gentle breathing guidance designed to help you settle into a state of relaxation. If you'd prefer to skip directly to the story, you can find the timestamps for each chapter in the description below. This story invites you to slow your pace and find a quietude in small moments, sharing an evening with Anya in her cozy home as she lights her candle, makes her tea, and loses herself in the gentle world of a beloved book. Let's take a few moments now to settle into a comfortable position, allowing your body to sink into your bed, feeling fully supported and at ease. Perhaps adjust your pillow or blanket, creating a nest of comfort around you. This time is for you to let go of the day, to release any worries or tension, and invite a sense of calm into your evening. Feel the edges of your muscles soften, allowing any tightness to dissipate as you prepare to simply be in this moment. Allow the simple, comforting image of a candle's soft flame to settle in your mind as you prepare to slow down and breathe. We'll take a soothing breath together now. Gently inhale through your nose, allowing the air to flow naturally and easily, feeling the gentle expansion of your chest. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, like a soft sigh of relief. With each breath, feel your body growing heavier, more relaxed, sinking further into your bed. Imagine the soft, warm scent of beeswax filling the air, and the gentle flickering of candlelight filling the room, creating a peaceful, comforting glow. Feel these sensations wash through you, encouraging a deeper state of relaxation. If your thoughts begin to wander, that's perfectly all right. Let your mind drift as gently as a leaf floating on a pond, and then softly return your attention to your breathing or to the sound of my voice. There's nothing you need to do now except listen and allow the story to carry you into rest. Feel the gentle rhythm of the candle flame, the soft whisper of the night, and let them carry your worries and concerns away. Allow yourself to simply be in the quiet space of this moment. We will now begin Anya's evening. May it bring you a sense of peace and guide you into a restful sleep. Chapter 1. The Quiet of Dusk. Anya felt a sense of quiet contentment as she turned the key in her apartment door. The familiar click of the lock always brought a small, reassuring wave of calm. She moved slowly into the entryway, feeling the soft fibers of the small rug beneath her bare feet. The day was gently fading outside, casting long, muted shadows through her window. She moved toward the window and released the latch, feeling the cool evening air move gently into the room, bringing with it the faintest scent of damp earth and distant blossoms. She paused for a moment, letting her shoulders relax, feeling a gradual release of any tension that had gathered during the day. The weight of her bag seemed to melt away as she gently placed it on the small table near the door. She could hear the gentle hum of distant traffic, but it felt far away, almost like a lullaby. Her focus shifted inward as she became aware of the quiet rhythm of her own breathing, a steady ebb and flow that brought with it a sense of ease and stability. Anya's movements were unhurried as she moved toward her small kitchen area. The soft clinking of ceramic as she gathered her teacup and teapot created a gentle, almost musical sound in the still air. She felt the smooth curve of the teapot in her hands, its weight grounding and familiar. The cool water filled the kettle with a soft gurgling sound, the gentle echo a calming presence in the quiet space. She reached for a soft shawl, its light wool fibers brushing against her skin, bringing with it a comforting warmth. She unfolded it slowly, feeling the soft texture between her fingers before draping it gently over her shoulders. She moved into the living room, the slightly worn floorboards beneath her feet moving with a small, soft creak, and settled gently into her favorite armchair, allowing the plush cushions to embrace her. The evening light painted the room in soft hues of gray and pale blue, creating a tranquil and peaceful atmosphere. She glanced over at the small bookcase near the window, her fingers gently tracing the spines of her well-loved volumes. The room held a quiet energy, a feeling of settled stillness, as if it was waiting with her for the quiet of the night. She felt a gentle pull toward the window, drawn by the darkening sky. The shapes of the trees were slowly beginning to blur, their colors deepening into soft shadows. The first stars of the evening began to appear, tiny pinpricks of light in the vast expanse of the sky. There was a feeling of calm, effortless beauty settling in all around. She reached for a small glass jar and slowly poured dried chamomile flowers into her teapot, breathing in the sweet, slightly floral scent, a familiar and soothing fragrance. The gentle aroma began to fill the space as she poured the hot water from the kettle, allowing the fragrant steam to rise and drift about her. It brought a sense of warmth and peace. She allowed a few moments to simply feel this warmth, letting it settle into her very core. As she settled back into her chair, she felt a deep sense of peace wash over her. The room was ready, the soft textures, muted colors, and gentle scents all creating a haven of calm. She simply sat for a moment, breathing gently, letting the feeling of quiet settle round her, a gentle invitation into the peaceful stillness of the evening. Chapter 2. The Dance of the Flame. Anya's attention moved to the small wooden box resting on the side table. It was a simple box, worn smooth with time, and she felt a quiet fondness as she opened it. Inside, nestled amongst the soft linen lining, were a few beeswax candles. The subtle honey scent wafted up, a sweet and familiar fragrance that always brought with it a sense of calm anticipation. She reached for one of the candles, feeling its smooth, cool surface against her skin, and slowly lifted it from the box. The candle felt solid and grounding in her hand. She admired it for a moment, the creamy color and simple shape, a small vessel of quiet light. She moved to the small dish on the coffee table, placing the candle carefully into the center. It fit perfectly, as if it had always belonged there. A feeling of gentle satisfaction settled over her as she moved to gather the small box of matches. The box felt rough and papery in her hands. She slowly slid open the matchbox, pulling out a single match. The small wooden stick felt dry and light between her fingers. She held it for a moment, breathing in the faint scent of sulfur, a familiar and comforting fragrance associated with the start of her evening ritual. With a slow, deliberate movement, She gently grazed the match across the striking strip. The match head caught with a small, soft hiss, the tiny flame igniting with a delicate flicker. She watched it for a moment, her gaze drawn to the small dance of light. She felt the warmth radiate out from the small flame, a gentle heat that brought with it a subtle sense of comfort. With slow and deliberate movements, she carefully held the flame to the candle wick. The wick caught, and a small, steady flame began to grow. She watched as the candle flickered, the soft light slowly filling the room with a warm and golden glow. The flame danced and swayed, creating gentle shadows that moved and shifted with an almost imperceptible rhythm. She observed it for a moment, feeling a sense of quiet fascination. The soft light created a sense of intimacy, a feeling of being gently cocooned in the warmth and soft illumination. The room felt different now. The shadows had softened, and the harsh edges of the day seemed to fade away. The candlelight cast a warm, golden glow on everything it touched. The soft curves of the furniture, the edges of the books, the leaves of the houseplants, all seemed to soften and relax. There was a feeling of gentle peace, a quiet invitation to slow down and breathe. She could feel the gentle hum of the flame, a quiet sound that seemed to vibrate through her very being. It felt as though the flame was breathing with her, a small dance of light and warmth that mirrored the gentle rhythm of her own breath. The room seemed to be alive with a peaceful energy, a quiet hum of gentle light and subtle shadows. She felt a sense of deep calm settle over her, a feeling of being connected to something both ancient and familiar. Anya moved slowly back to her chair, drawn in by the candle's soft light. She watched the gentle dance of the flame, feeling the warmth radiating outward, a soft blanket of light that invited her to settle more deeply into her evening. She felt a sense of quiet joy, knowing the quiet of the night had begun, and with it the soft, gentle journey toward sleep. Chapter 3. Opening the Book. Anya's gaze drifted toward the small bookcase, its shelves filled with the quiet stories that had kept her company over the years. The spines of the books stood like old friends, each one holding a world within its pages. She felt a gentle pull, a quiet call to be immersed once more in one of those worlds. She allowed her gaze to move slowly across the shelves, pausing at the familiar sight of the worn and loved titles. Her fingers brushed gently against the spines, feeling the varied textures of paper and cloth, a silent conversation of familiar surfaces. She paused at one particular book, its cover slightly faded and worn. It was an old favorite, the pages filled with stories of a quiet village nestled in a lush valley. She felt a soft pull of comfort and recognition, a gentle nudge toward a well-known place. She gently removed the book from the shelf, feeling its familiar weight in her hands. The book felt warm and comforting to the touch, as if it had absorbed the warmth of her own quiet evenings. The spine was slightly softened with use, a testament to the many times she had opened it to the same familiar pages. She carefully ran her fingers over the cover, feeling the texture of the paper and cloth, each small detail sparking a gentle memory. She could almost feel the subtle energy of the many stories it held, ready to be shared once more. She moved slowly toward her armchair, the book held gently in her hands. She could feel the soft texture of the worn cover against her fingers, bringing with it a sense of familiar comfort. She settled into the plush cushions, feeling them embrace her, creating a soft nest of warmth and peace. Her body sank gently into the chair, releasing any remaining tension, a gentle sigh escaping her lips. With a slow and deliberate movement, she opened the book to a well-loved chapter. The pages felt slightly cool against her fingers, the scent of old paper filling the air, a familiar and comforting fragrance. The faint rustle of the pages turning created a soft, almost musical sound that mingled with the gentle hum of the candle. She allowed her gaze to drift over the words on the page, her mind gently settling into the story. She began to read, her voice a soft whisper, letting the story unfold slowly and peacefully. The words danced on the page, bringing to life a tranquil world of quiet beauty. The descriptions of the gentle rolling hills, the lush green meadows, and the peaceful flow of the river all seemed to echo the quiet stillness that filled her room. Her mind felt at ease, quietly drawn into the rhythms of the story. She felt the weight of the book in her lap, a gentle, grounding sensation that helped her to settle deeper into her chair. She could feel the soft textures of the pages against her fingertips, each turn a slow and deliberate act that invited her to be present in this moment. The soft glow of the candle cast a gentle light on the words, illuminating them as they unfolded into a quiet, comforting narrative. As she continued to read, her body seemed to settle more deeply into the chair, her breath becoming slow and steady, matching the gentle rhythm of the story. The world outside seemed to fade away as she became completely immersed in the quiet beauty of the village within the pages, a place of peace and simple joys. She felt herself drawn more and more into a quiet state, ready for the gentle journey toward sleep. Chapter 4. Within the Pages. The words on the page seemed to glow softly in the candlelight, each phrase a gentle invitation to a place of quiet beauty. Anya's mind began to drift into the story, the descriptions of the village becoming more vivid, more real. She could almost feel the soft grass beneath her feet as she walked the gentle paths, the air filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers. The narrative spoke of the slow, steady rhythm of life in the valley, a place where time seemed to move at its own unhurried pace. She imagined the stone cottages, their walls covered in climbing roses and ivy, the windows glowing with warm, inviting light. The images in the book mingled with her own thoughts, creating a tapestry of gentle scenes and soothing sensations. She could almost feel the soft breeze on her skin, the gentle warmth of the sun on her face, the quiet comfort of a familiar place. Her awareness began to softly expand, encompassing both the story and the quiet of her own room. As she read, she felt a sense of peaceful connection to the characters in the story. There was a gentle old woman who tended her garden, her hands moving with slow and deliberate care, a familiar picture of quiet strength. There was a young man who spent his days walking through the fields, his heart filled with simple joy, a gentle echo of Anya's own peaceful contentment. She felt as if she was walking with them, sharing in their quiet moments. their simple routines, their gentle understanding of the world around them. The gentle rhythm of the story began to blend with the quiet rhythm of her own breath, the words flowing smoothly and effortlessly, creating a soft lullaby for her mind. She could feel the gentle weight of the book in her lap, a grounding sensation that helped to settle her even deeper into her chair. Her body felt relaxed and comfortable, supported by the soft cushions, her awareness gently drifting through the pages. The story spoke of the slow, steady movement of the river, a source of calm and tranquility that flowed gently through the heart of the valley. Anya imagined herself by the riverbank, the cool water flowing slowly and rhythmically, its gentle sound soothing and calming. She could almost hear the gentle murmur of the water, the soft splash of the fish, the quiet rustle of the leaves in the breeze, sounds so familiar they felt like they had always existed within her. The colors in the book seemed to soften, the greens becoming more muted, the blues deeper and more calming, as the evening light continued to fade. The words on the page seemed to glow softly, as if they were infused with the gentle magic of the valley itself. She could feel the warmth of the candle still radiating, a soft, comforting presence that enveloped her in a gentle embrace. Her mind wandered for a moment, thoughts drifting gently like clouds in a peaceful sky. She thought of the simple joys of her own day, the soft light that had fallen on the leaves of her potted plants, the gentle conversation she had shared with a neighbor. These quiet moments, often overlooked, now felt rich and meaningful, infused with the same peaceful magic of the story. She returned gently to the words on the page, allowing herself to be fully present in the moment. As she continued to read, the world around her began to feel more dreamlike, more ethereal, as if the story itself was gently carrying her toward a place of quiet rest. The words seemed to lose their sharp edges, becoming more like melodies, soft and flowing, her breath matching their gentle rhythm. She felt a deep sense of peace settle over her, the story and her own quiet interior world slowly blending together in a gentle, peaceful dance. Chapter 5. The Slow Unfolding of Thoughts. Anya's eyelids felt heavy, the words on the page beginning to blur slightly as she continued to read. The story, however, had woven its magic, and the gentle rhythm of the narrative continued to lull her deeper into a state of quiet contemplation. Her mind wandered softly, drifting through her memories of the day, each thought a gentle, fleeting image that brought with it a feeling of quiet contentment. She remembered the warmth of the sun on her face as she walked home from the library, the gentle breeze that rustled through the trees, the soft scent of the blooming roses in the park. These simple moments, often overlooked, now seemed infused with a quiet beauty, each one a small spark of joy that resonated gently within her. She felt a soft smile touch her lips as she recalled a brief, pleasant conversation she had shared with a friend. Her thoughts moved without effort, like the gentle drift of clouds in a summer sky. She remembered the colors of her garden, the soft green leaves of her potted plants, the delicate hues of the blooms. She imagined the gentle growth of these plants, the silent unfolding of their lives, a constant reminder of the quiet beauty that exists in even the most ordinary things. Her awareness shifted to the subtle feelings within her own body, a gentle sense of weight and release, each breath a slow and peaceful movement. The candle's light seemed to soften, the flame dancing with a slow and steady rhythm, its golden glow creating a warm and comforting ambiance. She watched it for a moment, her gaze drawn to its soft, unwavering light, feeling a sense of quiet connection to its gentle presence. The room seemed to breathe with her, each inhale and exhale a soft whisper of quiet stillness. Her thoughts slowed down even more, becoming less distinct, more like soft impressions. She felt a gentle pull toward the window, drawn by the darkening sky, her focus slowly moving to the view before her, allowing the story to linger in her awareness while she turned her attention outside of her interior world. The stars were beginning to emerge, tiny pinpricks of light in the vast expanse of the night sky. They seemed to twinkle gently, their light a silent invitation to quiet contemplation, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the smallness of her own worries. A sense of calm washed through her as she observed this gentle dance of the night. The scent of the chamomile tea filled the air, a soft and soothing aroma that brought with it a feeling of deep comfort. She took a slow, deliberate sip, the warmth of the tea spreading gently through her body, a feeling of being nourished and cared for. She felt a gentle sense of gratitude for this quiet moment, for the simple beauty that surrounded her, for the peaceful stillness of her evening. She could feel the soft texture of the blanket draped over her legs, the gentle warmth it provided, a comforting feeling of being held and secure. Her body felt heavy and relaxed, sinking further into the cushions of her chair, each muscle gently releasing its tension as she prepared to surrender fully to the quiet of the night. A sense of gentle heaviness settled over her, pulling her gently toward a state of deeper relaxation. Her mind felt quiet and still, as if it was slowly melting into the gentle darkness of the evening. The words on the page became less distinct, their meaning less important than the feeling they evoked, the quiet peace that they had woven into her being. Slowly and steadily she allowed the soft light and the gentle words to guide her toward the edges of sleep. Chapter 6. Drifting toward Slumber. Anya's eyes fluttered closed, the book slipping gently from her hands to rest softly on her lap. The story had faded into the background, its gentle rhythm now a part of her, a soft lullaby that echoed within her own being. The room was still, the only sounds the soft hum of the candle and the quiet rhythm of her own breath. She felt a deep sense of peace, a quiet contentment that settled over her like a warm blanket. Her body felt heavy and relaxed, sinking deeper into the cushions of her armchair. She was aware of the soft textures around her, the gentle wool of her shawl, the plush fabric of the chair, the smooth surface of the book resting against her. These sensations were comforting and familiar, each one a small invitation to release any remaining tension and surrender completely to the quiet of the night. She breathed gently, feeling the slow, even rise and fall of her chest. The candle's flame flickered softly, its light dimming slowly as the evening deepened. The shadows in the room grew longer and softer, creating a sense of gentle mystery, a feeling of being gently enveloped in the darkness. The air felt still and quiet, infused with the soft scent of beeswax and chamomile, aromas that invited peace and rest. She felt a profound sense of connection to the simple beauty of this moment, a gentle surrender to the quiet of the night. Her mind felt still, like the surface of a quiet pond, reflecting the gentle beauty of the world around her, her thoughts floating softly, like gentle wisps of smoke. She felt a sense of gratitude for this peaceful time, for the quiet moments of reflection and relaxation, and for the simple routines that had brought her to this place of calm. She gave herself permission to simply be, to drift gently towards sleep without effort or resistance. Her awareness began to soften, like the edges of a dream, becoming less defined, less distinct. She could feel the slow rhythm of her heartbeat, the gentle rise and fall of her breath, a comforting reminder of the gentle energy that flowed through her being. Slowly and easily she felt that energy begin to settle and to still within her. The warmth of the candlelight seemed to merge with the gentle warmth that was settling within her own body, both creating a feeling of deep and profound peace. She could feel the pull of sleep, a gentle tug that drew her down into the depths of quiet rest, her body growing heavier, her awareness softening, each breath bringing her closer to a state of dreamless slumber. The room seemed to fade away, the sounds growing fainter, the light growing dimmer, as she prepared to surrender fully to the quiet of the night. She breathed slowly and deeply, feeling a gentle ease settle into every part of her. The candle flame flickered one last time, casting a soft shadow across the room, before finally dimming and fading into darkness. The room was now filled with the quiet darkness of night, a gentle and comforting stillness that embraced her, her breath slow and even, her body completely relaxed. She felt herself begin to drift, her awareness fading, the quiet darkness pulling her gently towards sleep. Anya's breathing became even slower, deeper, each breath a gentle sigh of release as she drifted further and further into a world of dreams, the lingering feeling of peace and warmth carrying her gently into the soft embrace of sleep. She was at peace. She was at rest. She was asleep. And the only sound in the room was the quiet, gentle breathing of one who was finally at rest. The candle extinguished. The story finished, and the night now filled with the gentle, quiet peace of slumber.